Hey guys, hope everyone's well. It's your boy MKS here. Back again once again with another video. Sorry, I still haven't managed to shave or whatever. But anywho, for those who saw my earlier videos, I was talking about my plans for today, and I thought I'd make part 3. But between that, I thought I'd do this video about another football video about reasons why I support Celtic, as well as Italian football. Why I support Celtic, which is normally quite Catholic, and coincidentally, I support Italy, which is also Catholic, and Celtic, although I'm not Catholic myself, but it just happens to be by coincidence. But I'd talk about some of the reasons why, in spite of the fact I'm not Catholic, and there's some things I might disagree with about Celtic as well, like some of the fans' connection with like violence, like the IRA or stuff like that, or some of the I think both sides of fans, both Celtic and Rangers, have good and bad fans. I'm sure the same with any other club. I'm sure there's many decent Rangers fans and not so decent Celtic fans as well. But generally speaking, I think, I could be mistaken, but I think from what I've seen, Rangers are quite a racist side. Generally, again, I'm not saying all their fans are like that, as I've said quite a few times, but I think they do have a connection with sort of different paramilitary groups, or with groups like the BNP, or the groups that many might see as quite racist, and even maybe like the NF, for those who know what that is, or just different prejudicial groups, and like they're very anti-Catholic, or they only probably support like Protestants or whatever, or white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, even in a way, kind of. And again, some of their fans are decent, but generally speaking, I think like Celtic do a lot for charity. I think like when you look at Rangers, they're like pro-British, like they support the military and the royal family and things like that. And as a pacifist and someone who's someone who would be a conscientious objector and things like that, and I'm against militarism, and I'm not a royalist, I'm more of a Republican, as in like I support republics. I don't mean like any sort of violent republicanism, but I mean a pacifist republicanism. But I mean I support republics, basically, because I think a lot of time when people talk about republicanism in the Irish context, it's like they mean something else, for those who know. But anyway, yeah, so I hope I'm making some sense, but yeah, I thought it would be a bit interesting, hopefully, to talk about why I'm a Celtic fan, in spite of being anti-Catholic. Like, I think, if I'm honest, Catholicism is a corrupted version of Christianity, in my opinion. I should be careful, as I often say, like, I don't want to offend anyone, but also I don't want to make myself enemies, but to me, I still think every Catholic should support Celtic because of the hatred that Rangers have for Celtic, for Catholics as well, like as a club. Like, they didn't have any Catholic players, and when they signed their first Catholic, like some of their own fans tried to boycott their club, and they weren't happy with having a Catholic playing for them, so they only wanted to have like, as I say, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants or whatever. And as I said before, like I've said quite a few times, not all Celtic fans are angels. Obviously, there's some Celtic fans who unfortunately are violent, or they break the law, which I disagree with. And they can be, I'm sure there are some Celtic fans who are racist. And again, like sometimes the way they challenge things is not always legal, which I disagree with. And disagree with football hooliganism and things like that. I'd love to get rid of that from Italian football as well, and from Celtic. And yeah, I don't really agree with violence and all that, or the fans who support like extremism, like the IRA or stuff like that. But at the same time, I don't agree with like the military or royal family, or taking over the countries, or when the Rangers fans sing like "Rule Britannia," or if the famine's over, why don't they go home? And they say things like, "If Britain, love it or leave it," and which is, I think that if you live in a country, you should obey the laws and all that. But I think the way they say it is very anti-migrant. They want Britain to run everything. But anyway, that's my opinion. So I thought I'd do a quick video about, well, not necessarily a quick video, I can't think much else to say, but I thought I'd talk about some of the reasons why, even though I'm not a Catholic, I support Celtic, and I'd love to make like Celtic's non-Catholic supporters, or non-white Anglo-Saxon Protestant supporters, or Protestant supporters, and different groups for Celtic, like anti-extremist supporters, as I say, non-Catholic supporters, Protestant supporters, supporters, people of colour as supporters, and like Indian supporters and Chinese supporters and supporters all around the world as well. And hopefully Celtic will do a lot of charity for those countries as well, in India and places, and have our own academies for people across Asia and Africa and those other groups I've talked about supporting before. Again, Indigenous, possibly even Indigenous people of the Americas, if that's possible. Like, it would be quite difficult to have an academy, maybe. I think it would be quite difficult to have academies for Indigenous people of the Americas. And I suppose it's got to be feasible. Like, it would depend whether that can churn out good players in the future. But as part of me thinks maybe it can be like achievable if we take on that challenge. Anyway, I can't think of anything else to say. So please ask me any questions if you like, or offer your own feedback. Leave hate mail if you must, or preferably leave positive and loving messages for me and others. So I hope to keep a positive space. Anyway, I'm out. Peace and love.